So I was working with the school in northern Maine recently. I had worked with this school before, so I had introduced the very old strategy called 2x10, where you for 10 days straight work with a particularly at-risk student who's on your radar for whatever, behavior, academics, attendance, one student that you're really concerned about, and for 10 class periods straight, you speak to them for 2 minutes about something that's non-academic. And so this teacher asked me in the follow-up session in Maine, how do you make 2x10 not feel like an interrogation? And I love that question because it really does feel like an interrogation sometimes. Like you're sitting here and you got your timer going on your watch and you're like waiting for that thing to buzz because you're trying to talk for 2 minutes with this student who typically with 2x10, like they don't want to talk to you for 2 minutes. And you're just trying to fill time. So this is what I said to him in answer to his question. First of all, great social intelligence, because if you're a little bit social intelligent, you know that trying to talk to somebody who doesn't necessarily want to talk to you for 2 minutes, like it can be awkward at first. But second of all, let's drill deeper, because there are things that we can do. So this is what I'm typically trying to do in the first day. I walk up to the student, and let's say the student's name is, I'm picturing a student that I taught a couple years ago. We'll call her Rachel. And the student is on my radar because she's not really doing any work. She's presenting an attitude about learning that it's really pointless. She's talking openly about her desire to drop out. So that's Rachel. And I'm like, okay, I want to try 2x10 with Rachel. So we got a little chunk of independent work time, and I tell Rachel something that's normal in my class. I say, hey, Rachel, can I talk to you in the hallway real quick? Rachel comes out, and I'm basically like, hey, Rachel, I was just curious. Like, what do you like to do outside of school? I know that you kind of seem like you don't want to be here very much. And, Rachel is nodding her head. And, okay, so like, what do you like to do outside of school? What types of things do you enjoy? I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, you know, right? But let's see. Do you ever watch any shows or anything? Nods her head. Okay, that's the type of thing that I'll ask a Rachel early on. Oh, nice. Where do you watch? You got TV, Disney Plus. You doing that Hulu? I mean, what's your platform, Rachel? And I'm kind of acting an idiot like that because I'm trying to make this a low pressure conversation, and when I'm an idiot, it often lowers the conversation. She's like, oh, Netflix. Oh, nice, Rachel. I got Netflix, and recently I was wondering what I should watch on Netflix. You got any recommendations? Oh, you wouldn't like the shows I like, Mr. Stewart. Oh, okay, well, try me. I'm a very open-minded person. I like a lot of different things. Just go ahead and try me. I watch stuff about murders and stuff. Oh, like true crime kind of stuff, or make-believe, or oh yeah, I watched this one, and then all of a sudden Rachel's going into, this thing that she watched, and it was about like this really, really sad story or whatever, documentary type thing. And hopefully by now I've gotten close to my 2 minutes. Maybe not quite there, but say, okay, Rachel, I'm maybe gonna check that out. I appreciate knowing that about you, and I don't know. I just wanted to pull you out in the hallway because I feel like we haven't talked much. So go back in there and get to work, I say, as I'm thinking in my head, oh man, she might not get back to work. So that's the first day of the intervention. And then anything that you can discover, I go for shows, I go for games, I go for activities with friends, and I go for music sometimes. And I'll tell you what, most of the times, me being old, out of touch, grandpa type individual, I don't often know what they're talking about, but I'll make a little note for myself to look it up after class. And the next day with the 2x10, I'll try to sort of connect with that. So the idea is you're not being hyper strict with yourself on the 2 minutes. I mean, if the conversation comes to a close after 60 seconds, I think you still get the benefits of the 2x10 intervention. And the power really comes from showing up the next day, and maybe it's before class with Rachel the next day as students are walking in. Maybe it's after class the following day. Maybe it's during independent work time again. And we're hitting on that show that she mentioned, and I'll say, oh, I looked at the trailer for that. It looks really interesting. What else do you like to watch? But your point with 2x10 is you're not going into academics. So you're trying to build this relationship outside of the context of school with the student. And you're just doing your best. When the student's really, really resistant to give any type of answer, sometimes you got to provide a few more prompts. But just smile to a fault, act maybe a little silly, a little goofy, try to make it low key if you can. You don't want the student to feel like they're on the spot, and give yourself grace if it doesn't go well and it's super awkward and you can only make it last for 30 seconds one day. It's okay. It's hard. 2x10s are hard, but they're good too. And that is what I have to say about that. Cheers.